So listen to this.
Zionism presupposes two things. One, the Jews are a nationality, not just a religion. And two, Israel is the country of that nationality.
Bear with me because I have a point and it will be worth it. On the 9th of October of 1859, a man was born that was going to change the history of the world, specifically the history of Palestine. His name was Alfred Dreyfus, and he was born in Alsace. The Dreyfuses were French, Jewish, and rich. One of the many examples of Jewish families that had integrated seamlessly into the fabric of French society. Alfred was patriotic, and he decided to become a military officer. In 1894, though, disaster struck. He was arrested for treason, humiliated in the process, and sent off to Devil's Island to live in solitary confinement. All of this happened as a result of a totally baseless accusation. The military tribunal that condemned him didn't have enough evidence to do so. But they leveraged on an European anti-Semitic trope that they knew would resonate. That Jewish people will never be able to hold allegiance to their country because they have allegiances to their religion. This prejudice has been weaponized against Jewish people in Europe for centuries, by the very groups, including the Catholic Church and European monarchs, who used them as scapegoats. When Dreyfus was condemned, he was publicly humiliated. He was stripped of all of his military honors, with a baying crowd chanting anti-Semitic slurs. The case became a flashpoint for the Jewish community around Europe, that had always considered France an example of integration. But the controversy didn't contain itself to the Jewish community. It spread to something as divisive as a Trump election, as Brexit, in which members of the same family stopped speaking with each other and broke relationships on the line of whether they approved of Dreyfus's banishment, or they defended them against the corruption of the army and anti-Semitism. While he was never acquitted because the army was never able to admit that they had done something wrong, despite having actually found the true traitor, Dreyfus was pardoned in 1896 and then exonerated in 1906. One of the people covering the Dreyfus affair was a young Austrian Jewish journalist called Theodor Herzl, who later on went to found the ideology known as Zionism. This is the moment that set the bubble rolling that would end up in where we are today. I wonder what he would think if he saw Israel now. Because one of the biggest victories of the Dreyfus affair was that it put to bed the idea that Jewish people have dual allegiances. They were citizens of the country in which they were born. And if you see the line of argument that Israel has at this moment, they are arguing the exact opposite, as was stated in the beginning of the video. They argue that Jewish people, no matter where they are born, are immediately Israeli, immediately have an allegiance to a country that is not the country in which they live in. That is insane to me because they are using the same argument that the people used to condemn Alfred Dreyfus, a French Jewish citizen, to banishment and humiliation, and engaging in the same tropes that they did.